guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a foundation demo for you guys. Since I did the Maybelline Fit Me range demo, I have been getting a couple of questions regarding the L'Oreal and other drugstore brands. So today I'm going to do a L'Oreal True Match range demo. So I have the L'Oreal True Match foundation, the concealer and also the powder. So we will go ahead and see how I apply this foundation, the concealer, the powder, and I'll also share my thoughts on all of these three products. And since this is a L'Oreal video, I also thought that I will do a lip swatch of all of my L'Oreal Moist Matte lipsticks which I have, and I really like these lipsticks. I have 7-8 shades with me and I will swatch all of them for you guys. So yes, we have a lot to do today, so without much further ado, let's quickly get started with today's video. Alright guys, let's get started with today's video. So first of all, I will do a demo of the base makeup products and then we will go on to the lip swatches. I have so many lipsticks with me. I will swatch all of them on my lips. So I already have some moisturizer on. Today I will not be applying too much primer. I will just be applying a little bit of the pore minimizing primer. This is the LA Girl Pro Prep, which I really like. And since we are doing a drugstore demo, so I thought we will apply a drugstore primer as well. So I just quickly apply this primer. This primer does minimize the appearance of pores, especially this area right here. My skin just looks super smooth when I apply this primer. Next we will move on to the foundation. So I have this L'Oreal True Match foundation and this is like one of my favorite foundation. It's a really liquidy formula, and so I have to, like you saw just right now, I have to shake it up quite a bit. And I have the shade G7. It's called Golden Amber. The shade name is mentioned right here, G7. I had done a video a long time back. It was a L'Oreal one brand tutorial, I think, where I was using a foundation N7, but N7 has a more neutral undertone and N means I think stands for neutral. So it was a little bit too light, or it looked a little bit ashy on my skin tone. So the shade G7 works out great. It has G, I guess, stands for golden undertone, so it works out best for my skin. And the shade match of this is pretty good. It may be a little bit light sometimes when I have a bit of a tan, but most of the time, most of the year, this shade works out great for me. So I am around NC 43, 44 in MAC. So if you are around that shade range, then you might try out this shade. Let's quickly apply a little bit, then we will talk more about it. So I usually take a very little amount, this much, and like I said, it's quite a liquidy formula. It's not very runny, but it's a very thinner formula, and this is how the shade is. When I apply to my face, you'll be able to see properly, and the coverage is not too much. It's a very natural coverage foundation, so you can probably just build it up to a medium coverage. So I usually don't apply too much. It's more of like a everyday foundation for me. The finish which you get is more of a natural dewy skin finish. It is not a matte foundation. It will give you a certain healthy glow or a healthy feel to the skin. So I usually blend it out with my brush. This is a very dense brush from Zoeva. It's called Silk Finish, and most of the time I'll just blend out all of my foundations with this. Now you can also use a beauty blender. With a beauty blender also you get a very nice finish. But I think this foundation doesn't give a lot of coverage with the beauty blender, because beauty blender will kind of soak up a little bit of product. So this looks very sheer. So if you're looking for a very sheer application or a very natural coverage, you can go for the beauty blender, but I usually use this one to blend out my foundation. So I just quickly blend out. As you can see, the shade match is pretty good. On camera it may look a little bit light, but in natural lighting it doesn't look light, and once we have our entire makeup, bronzer and powder and everything like that, it looks pretty skin-like. I would actually really love to try out the shade G8, but I haven't seen the shade G8 here in Singapore. In US, you obviously get much more variety in shade range. So this is how my foundation is looking. I really like the finish which this foundation gives. It's a very natural finish. You can see here in the close-up that it just doesn't look like I'm wearing foundation. It's just, if you want, you can build up the foundation a little bit, but I usually prefer this much. Now let's move on to the concealer. Now for concealer, I have the shade G7 as well for concealing around my mouth, which I am very like actively doing these days. I usually use some other concealer. This one I'll use just for highlighting underneath the eyes, and I think it is a really nice concealer. This is also like the foundation. It gives a natural finish, and it's very lightweight. It doesn't give a lot of coverage, but it gives a certain brightness and a little bit of coverage around that area. So I usually apply that much, and I'll just blend it out with the brush. These two products are like my everyday sort of products. If I have to go to like office, or if I have to go to college, or I'm going somewhere during the day where I have to look a little bit presentable, these kind of products is what I prefer. I'll just apply a little bit of this foundation, little bit of that concealer, so that it doesn't look too much, and that's about it. So as you can see, the concealer also blended right in. If you want, you can build up a little bit. I don't think it's necessary, but I'll just apply a little bit more just to get somewhat of coverage. But as I said, this concealer also doesn't give a lot of coverage. So if you're looking for products which will give you coverage like foundations and concealers at the drugstore, probably these two products are not for you. These are not heavy full coverage products. You might want to look into the other range of L'Oreal. They have the Infallible range, where you'll probably get a little bit more coverage. So that's the foundation and concealer done. I will highly recommend both of these products for anyone who is looking for light coverage products, and especially with dry skin. I will highly recommend. The foundation, by the way, has SPF of 16, and it claims to naturally match skin tone and texture. Next, let's move on to the powder from the same range. So I have this L'Oreal True Match powder. It's in the shade G8 Gold Cinnamon. I was thinking I will get the same shade powder as well, G7, but the powder was available in G8. So I got the shade G8 because this also matched me pretty well, and the powder also has SPF. So it has a SPF of 32. So since it has SPF, so I thought let me just go with one shade deeper. That might work out too. So the powder, the claims of this powder is Event Perfecting Powder Foundation, and it has a dimensional, soft focus, radiant, shine free and poreless semi-matte finish for all day long. 100% airbrushed, smooth coverage, 8-hour oil control, 12-hour undetectable lightweight sensation. So I really like the claims of this powder. So it looks like it will be a more like natural finish powder. It's not going to be overly matte. I don't go for overly matte powders most of the time. I don't mind them, but usually I'll go for something which has a little bit more luminosity if possible. So this is how the powder looks like. I actually went out and bought this because I wanted to do a complete set video. So this is not part of my low buy. You guys know how I am on a low buy, but I think I'm going to allow myself to get products if I need for videos, because that was just driving me crazy. There were so many videos I wanted to do, but I was not able to get the products because I was on a low buy. So I was like, it's okay, I just make an exception for my low buy, because I really wanted to include the powder as well in the video so that you could see all of the 3 True Match products. Now these are the compact. Looks like it's very sturdy and luxurious. It's a very well made packaging, and there is a mirror inside as well, and there is a puff here which can be used. I quite like this puff for touch-ups. There is perforation here as well for the puff to breathe. And this is the powder. Now when I saw this powder, I felt like it is a little dark for my skin tone, but it's not. It actually matches my skin pretty well. And this also made me think that maybe there is one more shade, G8, in foundation as well, which will match better. So I don't know, I might have to hunt that foundation down. So let's apply a little bit on my entire face. I usually don't like to set my face too much when I have this foundation on, because I want my skin to have that little bit of luminosity. So I'll just take a little bit of the powder and just dab it here. And as you can see, immediately there's a difference in this side and this side. There is a tiny bit of coverage on this side. So this powder, it's actually a powder foundation, so the powder foundation does have a little bit of coverage. So if you want, you can apply this just on top of your BB cream for every day. That will also work. And I feel like this powder will work for a lot of skin tones. I mean skin types. And even the foundation, I think, will work for a lot of skin types. Even if you have combo skin, I think you can try the Too Much foundation. I think it will work out great. I'm not too sure about oily skin, but for dry combo skin, I think this will work out great. So that's my under eyes set. There is a nice skin like radiance to it, if you know what I mean. It doesn't look very matte or overly matte. So I'll take another fluffy brush. The brush looks like it's full of powder, but it's not. It's actually very clean. I have cleaned up on a piece of cloth, but I need to deep clean this brush. And I'll just apply a little bit, just dusting. Okay guys, so that's my base makeup done. I have the foundation, concealer and the powder on, and I'm kind of missing the satinness of the foundation, but after a while this kind of settles down and it just mixes with each other and it will look more natural, radiant and skin like. I have seen that. Other than that, I really like the finish of this powder. It is not overly matte and it has set my makeup really nicely. If you set this foundation nicely, then this foundation lasts pretty well on my skin, probably 5-6 hours or so. And if you don't set it properly, then it will tend to fade away. So I will advise you to set this foundation a little bit, but personally on me, I have never had a problem with this foundation. It lasts really beautifully on my skin. It doesn't break down, it doesn't cake up. It just looks very, very nice and natural throughout the wear. For day-to-day, everyday light coverage makeup, I will highly recommend this foundation. And the same goes for the concealer as well. This is also really lightweight, doesn't have a lot of coverage, gives a nice natural finish underneath the eyes. So I think this is also really good for everyday use. Just set the concealer nicely, because it does have a tendency to crease a bit. And as for the powder, I really like this powder. I think this powder can be used by a lot of skin types. It has a more demi-matte finish. So if you guys have used any of these products, do let me know. And I really hope that this demo was helpful. Now I will finish off my entire face. I've already done my brows and I have a little bit of an eye look on today. I will finish off my face with bronzer, blush and everything. And I'll come back and we'll just quickly swatch the lipsticks which I have. Okay guys, I'm back. I just applied a little bit of blush, bronzer and highlight and my L'Oreal lipstick. Now let's quickly swatch all of the L'Oreal lipsticks I have. Now these are all from the Moisture Matte or Moist Matte range, which are kind of like their semi-matte lipsticks. They are very hydrating, matte looking lipsticks, and they are pretty long wearing as well, very nicely pigmented. If I don't eat or drink something, then they can last on my lips for 6-7 hours. And I really like the shade range which they have. Recently they have come out with this black packaging for all of their Moist Matte lipsticks. So I have got a few newer shades as well, and I have some old favorites. So let's start off with the lipstick which I'm wearing on my lips right now, which is one of the latest ones I have got. I think I got it a couple of months back. So this is the shade Sleek Dominance, and it's a really, really beautiful muted brick red shade, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful lipstick. I just love this lipstick shade. It's just very, very smooth brick red color, and I will highly, highly recommend this. Then I have this lipstick. I'm not sure if it is still available. I think it is, but this is the shade Rouge-A-Porter, which is sort of like a peachy pink nude lipstick with a little bit of a red corally undertone. I really liked this lipstick at one point of time. I was wearing it all the time. Right now it's on a okay level for me. I think it's a little too bright. Nowadays I'm liking more reds and berries. So I like that shade, but not that much. Then we have this shade Divine Mocha, which is one of my favorite brownie nude lipsticks. And you guys have heard me talk about this so many times. And this is Divine Mocha. Really, really, really beautiful lipstick. The next lipstick is Hinted Blush, which is a beautiful pinky nude shade, and I have spoken about this so many times on my channel, and I just love this lipstick. This one is Hinted Blush. It's a very, very pretty pinky nude, very nicely pigmented, works great on my skin tone, and I've got a newer pack of this because my older Hinted Blush was almost out. Then we have a Mauve Petal, which is like a mauvey purple lipstick. It's on my skin tone, it looks more purple than mauve, but this is also very smooth, beautiful lipstick. It's one of my favorite lipsticks. It has a nice grayish purpley undertone, but it doesn't look too gray, and the color is just, I just love this shade. Very unique in my collection. Then we have the shade Glamour Fuchsia. I'm not sure if you get this anymore because I haven't seen it honestly, but I love this shade. This is like a fuchsia, purpley fuchsia pink shade, and this just looks so flattering on my skin tone. Love these kind of shades. These kind of fuchsia shades or berry shades are like my favorite. And yeah, this is in the old packaging. I haven't seen it in the new packaging yet. What I have seen in the new packaging is this shade called Soft Violet, and this is also very similar to Glamour Fuchsia but not too much. This is a little bit deeper. This is Soft Violet. This is also really beautiful. As you can see, this one was Glamour Fuchsia. This is a Soft Violet. This one is a little bit deeper, and this just looks amazing. I just love this lipstick. It is not berry exactly, it has a hint of purple, so that's why I really like it. It is some fuchsia undertones, purpley pink, really beautiful. And the last lipstick is Lincoln Rose, which is one of my first ever L'Oreal lipstick purchases, and I have got it again in the newer packaging as well. I love this shade. There's a bright red. Here you can see it's a bright red. It sort of has some orange undertones, but it's like a out and out true red orangey lipstick, and I love this lipstick so much. It just brightens up my skin tone. And these are all the lipsticks, L'Oreal lipsticks, which I have. Absolutely love all of the shades. All of these lipsticks have been a favorite of mine at some point or the other, but my current lipstick favorite is this one called Sleek Dominance, which I'm wearing right now. It's such a beautiful red. Absolutely love this lipstick. And with that, I have come to the end of today's video. I really hope that this video was helpful, the demo was helpful, and the lip swatches were helpful as well. If you like this video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're watching me for the first time, I really hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again really soon in my next video. Bye.